Why do the most intelligent people often choose solitude? Why do some of the greatest minds in history seem distant, detached, almost disconnected from the world around them? Is isolation a weakness? Or is it something else entirely? A sign that they see something others don't? Think about it. Nikola Tesla, Isaac Newton, Nietzsche, Emily Dickinson, brilliant minds, yet profoundly alone. This is not a coincidence. Arthur Schopenhauer believed there was a reason for this, and his answer was uncomfortable. According to him, the more intelligent a person becomes, the less they feel at home in society, not because they are better, but because they are different. They observe more, they think more deeply, they question what others accept, and because of that, they begin to notice something disturbing. Most of what we call social life is shallow, repetitive, predictable, people talking without really saying anything, interacting without truly connecting, living without really questioning. And once you see that clearly, it becomes very hard to participate in it the same way again. Schopenhauer describes society as a kind of theater, a place where people perform roles, where conversations are often masks, where approval is currency, and authenticity is rare. For someone who seeks truth, this becomes exhausting, not because they hate people, but because they can no longer ignore what they see. And so, they withdraw. Not completely, but gradually, silently. They start spending more time alone. Not out of loneliness, but out of necessity. Because solitude offers something society often cannot. Silence, clarity, depth. In solitude, there is no need to perform, no need to impress, no need to explain yourself. You can finally think without interruption. And for a certain kind of mind, that becomes addictive. But here is where things get more complex, because solitude is not just philosophical, it is also neurological. When a person spends more time alone, their brain begins to change. The default mode network becomes more active. This is the system responsible for introspection, self-reflection, and deep thinking. It allows you to analyze your past, imagine the future, question your identity, and explore abstract ideas. This is why people who spend time alone often become more creative, more analytical, more self-aware. But there is a cost. The same system that creates insight can also create overthinking, rumination, existential anxiety. The mind turns inward. And sometimes it goes too far. Instead of clarity, it finds loops. Instead of peace, it finds questions with no answers. This is why solitude can feel both liberating and heavy. It expands your awareness, but it also removes distractions. And without distractions, you are left with yourself completely. And not everyone is prepared for that. This is where Zen Buddhism offers something powerful. It teaches that the problem is not solitude. The problem is the mind within solitude. Because being alone does not automatically bring peace. If your mind is chaotic, you will carry that chaos into silence. Zen teaches something very simple, but very difficult. Observe your thoughts without attaching to them. Let them come. Let them go. Do not chase them. Do not fight them. Just watch. Because most suffering comes not from being alone, but from believing every thought that appears in your mind. Schopenhauer would agree with this in a different way. He believed that human beings are driven by something he called the will, a blind, restless force that constantly pushes us toward desire, toward validation, toward stimulation, toward more. And when that force is active, we suffer because we are never satisfied, never still, never at peace. Society feeds this endlessly. More attention, more approval, more distraction. But solitude interrupts it. It creates space. And in that space, something interesting happens. You begin to see your own patterns, your own desires, your own illusions. And that awareness is both uncomfortable and freeing. Because once you see clearly, you cannot go back to unconscious living. But again, this comes with a paradox. The more aware you become, the less you relate to ordinary interactions. You begin to notice superficiality everywhere. You see how much of communication is driven by ego, by insecurity, by the need to appear. And that creates distance. Not physical distance, but psychological distance. You are there, but not fully there. Listening, but not engaged. Present, but detached. And this is where many people misunderstand intelligent solitude. They think it is arrogance, but often it is just disconnection, a mismatch between what someone seeks and what the environment offers. But here is the danger. If this distance grows too much, it turns into isolation, and isolation is not the same as solitude. Solitude is chosen. Isolation is felt. Solitude nourishes. Isolation drains. This is why many highly intelligent individuals struggle, because they exist between two worlds. Too aware to fully belong. Too human to completely detach. So what is the answer? Should you isolate yourself? Reject society? Disappear into your own mind? Schopenhauer would say no, but he would also say, do not lose yourself trying to belong. The answer is balance, a kind of selective engagement. You do not need to connect with everyone. You do not need to be understood by everyone. You do not need to participate in everything. But you also should not abandon connection entirely, because even the deepest mind still needs some form of human exchange. The key is quality, not quantity. Depth, not noise. Choose your environment carefully. Choose your conversations carefully. Choose who has access to your inner world, because your attention is your most valuable resource, and where you place it shapes who you become. In the end, the question is not whether solitude is good or bad. The real question is, what do you do with it? Do you use it to escape or to understand? Do you use it to hide or to grow? Because solitude can either sharpen your mind or trap it. It can either free you or isolate you. And that depends entirely on your awareness. So maybe the goal is not to avoid solitude or to chase it, but to master it, to be able to be alone without feeling empty, to be able to be with others without losing yourself. That is freedom, not dependence, not isolation, but balance. And maybe that is what the greatest minds understood. Not just how to be alone, but how to remain whole, no matter where they were. So let me ask you something. When you are alone, do you feel peace? Or do you feel noise? Because your answer to that question reveals everything.